What's going on, everybody? It's Big T with GreenWallSt.com, back with a little Wednesday trading wisdom. I've noticed on a lot of the trading recap videos that I do, people wanted me to post more losing days and how to deal with losing in trading, because obviously large majority of people lose. There's two things. First thing I would say, stop fucking losing so much. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to become a consistently profitable trader, you should not have that many losing days. Like, people will comment and, be like, hey, you only post winning days. It's not to say I don't have losing days, but I don't have as many losing days as I used to. Let's put it that way. I don't lose often. You can't lose often and expect to make money in the market. So that's just kind of a natural progression. Once you've been trading and you become profitable, you just have less and less losing days. But again, you're still going to have them, right? You're still going to have some losing days. And how do I deal with them? Well, I break it up. Let me take a seat because I'm just pacing back and forth. I just have some thoughts on my mind. I'm going to sit down somewhere. Okay. How do you deal with losers in the stock market? This is the key. There's two types of losing days. There are acceptable losing days, and then there are non-acceptable losing days. One of which, obviously, I'm okay with, and the other that I'm not. But the way I try to go back and I look at days that I lost, I really ask myself three things. Because if I come to the market and I do three things right during the day, there is a really, really, really high chance that I walked away either break even or making money on the day. Those three things are: first, only trading setups that I know and understand have positive expectancy. I know they have edge. I know that if I play them out over time, I will make money. If I stick to those setups, and number two, I stay patient for the correct entries on those setups, because you can have a nice setup, but if you enter too early or too late, it can screw it all up. So did I stay patient on those setups? And three, did I risk an amount of money that I'm truly comfortable with losing? And I say truly in parentheses because a lot of people think they're okay risking a certain amount of money until the money is at risk. And they realize, you might say before a trade, I'm okay risking $1,000 in a trade. But what happens, you get in and you have to give it a little bit of wiggle room, or really, most people should trade with wider stops than they do. You have to give it a lot of wiggle room, and they'll go down $500 and stop out of the trade prematurely, right? Because they were not truly comfortable with risking $1,000. They were truly comfortable with risking 500. And once you got to that point, they were like, fuck this. They hit the eject button. Right. But if I do those three things, trade setups I know and understand. Second, wait for the correct entries and the proper entries. Stay patient enough for the entries on those setups, and risk an amount of money that I'm truly comfortable with. It's real hard to lose, bro. And if I can truly answer those three things and say I did those three things and I had a losing day, no sweat off my back. I don't even think about it. Because I know that if I stick to that process day in, day out, because I've seen success in the past doing those things, I know that I will be okay. Now, the second type of losing day is if I cannot answer those questions, right? And today is actually a losing day for me. It's why I'm making this video. I lost about $500 today. And it was not a good $500. I really had, 3 or 4 trades where, had I just traded the trade correctly, it ended up working out, but I didn't execute correctly, right? Those are days that I don't like, right? I really don't like. And I don't even have a great answer for how to deal with them. It's just be fucking better, right? Hold yourself to a higher standard and understand that if you want to do this for a living, you have to execute well. That's the whole thing. You can't be a professional football quarterback and throw the ball in the dirt. Like, if you got an open receiver, you got to fucking hit him, right? That's the skill, is do the thing right. So yeah, on days like that, I think if you go back and you ask yourself those three things, most times, if you're losing back-to-back days, or if you're red 4 out of 5 days a week, one of those things is not correct, right? You know, you're not trading setups that have positive expectancy. You're not staying patient enough for the right entries, and you're risking either too little or too much, just in accordance to like what you're comfortable with. But I'll show you all some charts from today that illustrate what I'm talking about. Also, my monitor looks way dirtier on camera. I swear it's not that dirty. I need to wipe it down a little bit. But like this morning, I traded this stock NRBO, right? So I was watching it pre-market. I saw us kind of ramp into the open and immediately had a huge rejection, right? Super high volume, you can see on the bottom. And I used that as a signal to get short the stock, right? So I shorted it in the 26s. My idea was to wait for some sort of flush under 25 to cover, or if we reclaimed VWAP, I was going to stop out. Now, what ended up happening was it ended up coming back up to my average, and I stopped out for break even instead of truly being comfortable with the correct risk on the trade, which should have been, you know, 27.50, 28 if it reclaimed the trend. And it ended up popping, stopping me out, and doing what I originally thought. So this was a good trade idea that I executed poorly. Unacceptable. Here's the second trade of the day. This was the bulk of my losses. This was, what the hell is this stock? It doesn't even matter what the name of the stock is. But the idea was the stock had ripped off the open, went parabolic. It topped, and my idea was I wanted to short the bounce and cover the flush. Instead, what did I do? I was not patient enough for the best entries, and I was not truly comfortable with the real risk of the trade, which was all the way up here, because I oversized. I was using too much size, and I thought, you know what? I'm okay risking, you know, $3,000 on this setup. And then the setup comes and you're down 500 or 1,000, and, you know, instead of giving it the proper wiggle room that you needed, you just end up scalping in and out of it, and, you know, it just looks like panic trading, because that's what it is. This is like super amateur type trading that I do not find acceptable, and I hold myself to a higher standard, you know what I'm saying, than that. But it does happen to anybody. You know, if you get in the wrong stock, and some are a bit more difficult than others, then you will run into situations where you just don't execute well. And I think the real key is just you know, accepting that this is a long-term thing, knowing that, hey, you're going to get another opportunity to do the right things tomorrow. Keep that long-term approach. It's okay, you know, if you lose on a particular day, just make sure that you come into tomorrow, ask yourself those three things, and actually execute on it. And forget about the money. It doesn't matter about the money. Just do those three things well. Do those three things, and the money will follow as a result. So yeah, two types of losing days. You know, if I answer those three questions and I still lose, then fuck it, that stock's just better than me. If I can't though, then I'm disappointed with myself, and I try to just be better. I mean, there's not a magic answer of how you deal with it. It's just stop sucking. You know what I mean? Stop sucking. Anyway, that's it for the day. Archie's ready to come inside. I just wanted to come on and, oh, don't look at my toes. And talk about that a little bit. Hope you all having a decent day. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday afternoon. And I'll probably come back with a trade recap video next, and look at some stuff that we traded this week. So y'all have a good rest of your Wednesday. I'll see y'all next time. Peace out, everybody. Bro, I recorded that whole video thinking it was Wednesday. Bitch, it's Thursday.